Hello, friend. Welcome to today's marketing session. This is a topic that I am absolutely passionate about for a few reasons, which I will get into. But I want to ask you first, before we actually hop in, I'd love to know from you. Drop in down below. I don't want to say in the COMMENTS down below. Drop the name of somebody that you follow for business inspiration or to learn new things about your business. This could be a speaker, an author, somebody in leadership. So just to give you some examples, I absolutely love Marie Forleo. I also follow Russell Brunson. I love his trainings on funnels. So drop that person's name down below. Okay. And here's why I want you to drop that name. Because if you think that it's too late for you to be known, to be heard, to be found as the expert, like one of those people that you follow, I'm here to tell you it's absolutely not too late. In fact, right now is the right time to start showing up as a personal brand, which is what those people do. You like them, you know them, and you trust them. If you're buying products from them, you trust them. And you can do the same. As an entrepreneur, as the leader of your business, you absolutely can do the same. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Why it's so important to start to show up as a personal brand starting today if you're not doing that already. So if you hear something that you absolutely love, that you're like, wow, Ginna, thank you for that tip, I want to get a hashtag wow. And if you're brand new to either of these pages, welcome. My name is Ginna Tassinelli. I'm the owner and founder of Hype Media, as well as the creator of Stylishly Branding. And we are not only a social media marketing agency with done-for-you services from lead generation, content creation, paid traffic, social media marketing and management, but I personally mentor female entrepreneurs through those same strategies that we use as an agency, but we also inject that personal branding development in there. Because as an entrepreneur myself, a serialpreneur, when I started Hype Media a little over 12 years ago, I will tell you, I made the mistake. I started my business thinking that I needed to have a logo. In the beginning, coming from the background of working with corporations in advertising that didn't have a personal brand. They had a business brand, but not typically a personal brand. I thought that when I started my own businesses, that I needed to show up the same way. I needed to have a logo. I needed to have the website. And that's how I moved forward in the beginning. And what I found was I was doing myself and my potential clients a disservice because they weren't getting to know me, the owner of my business, the person that they would be working with one-on-one. Even though at the time I didn't have a team, now I do have a team, it's still me who you work with, right? So it's absolutely important as an entrepreneur to show up as a personal brand. And so I want to share with you, I'm going to pull up my notes. If you've been following along for a while, I say this all the time. You know that I get chatty and I will completely go off course. So let me pull up my notes really quickly. Okay, so let's talk about the past for a second, okay? Now, in the past, years ago, I'm talking like 15 years ago, okay? There was no Facebook, there was no YouTube, there was no Instagram. Smartphones didn't really exist, right? You needed to be a developer to get a simple website up and going, or you needed to pay a lot of money to get it up and going. You don't have to do that today. So we do have advantages that we have these amazing resources, right? The platform that you're watching this on right now, this is going to be moving to a blog post, and then it's going to move over to YouTube, and I'm going to use the same piece of content in a variety of different ways. We didn't have those resources back then. Now, however, the challenge is there's a lot of noise, right? And there's only so much space on all of these platforms for you to show up. So not only is engagement important, valuable content important, but how do you show up and outside of all that clutter? And the only way to truly do that in the very beginning is by laying down those foundations of showing up as a personal brand. Although that is challenging in the beginning, now it's also much more inexpensive to launch a podcast, to record a video. You can do it right here on our phones, right? To send out emails, to build a following, to build a website. There's amazing resources now for building a website, DIYing a website. You can create stunning images with Canva for free even. And to get your message out there to a targeted audience, it's really inexpensive. So money and tech is really not a challenge anymore, right? But building a personal brand may seem like the current trend because we see all of these big influencers showing up all over the place. And some of them are trying to make a quick buck. Some of them just want popularity. And I'm not here to suggest that that is the right way to do it at all. What you want to do is to build a personal brand just like you're building a long-term successful business. They go together. And so what you start to do is to create that like, know, and trust factor. And that's what a personal brand can do for you. So what about as an entrepreneur? Maybe you're thinking, but I don't even know where to get started. It's just me, right? So here's the thing. You are unique. You are one, unless you were able to clone yourself. Maybe there's two of you, but there isn't two of you. You are one person. And all you have to do is show up as a real person to make those real human connections to the right people, and the right people that are meant for you, for your business, for you to help solve their problems, for you to service. The right people will be attracted to you when you actually show up as you and not as your logo, not as your services, not as your website, not as your product. So why is this so important right now? And if you have any questions, please let me know. Drop them down below, and I'm happy to answer them while I'm on. And even if you're watching this on the replay, I will come back and answer all your questions. So let me give you some reasons why a personal brand, building a personal brand, is so important right now for an entrepreneur and even a business owner. Number one, it's going to give you more credibility. There are tons of smart and talented people. And you know what? That may be you, and you may be struggling financially because you're competing with all of these other people. Well, I'll tell you what, when you show up as a personal brand, there's no longer any competition. I actually am friends with many people that do the same thing that I do, and we're not in competition with each other. Why? Because I am me, they are them, they are themselves. We each have our own ways of doing things, our own ways of communicating, our own personalities, our own experiences. And that's what sets you apart as a personal brand. When you're building that personal brand, you're making like small daily, you're giving like little pieces of you to your ideal client, little pieces of how you can help solve their problems. And then you slowly but surely get to the point where you can then offer them something. But if you go straight from showing up as a logo or a website to somebody that has no clue who you are, what you're about, especially for a coach, a mentor, a speaker, an author, a realtor, an attorney. Unless you have hundreds of thousands of dollars to spend on advertising, which most of us solopreneurs do not have, if you go straight from throwing your products out there, your website services, and you're throwing all that in their face, hoping to make a sale, it's just not going to happen. Maybe you'll get a few here and there trickling in, but not on a consistent basis because you're not building that like, know, and trust factor. So when you're able to build that like, know, and trust factor, you build credibility, you build influence. So that's number one reason. Number two reason is that you start to attract clients instead of chasing them. So, and there's more to personal branding, like showing up and, when I do my weekly Facebook lives, things like that, there's more than just that. It's how you build your profile, the things that you post, what value are you bringing to the table? Maybe what trainings are you doing? Are you showing them how to do things instead of telling them how to do things? So add value to your business by showing up in a way that's serving a purpose, that's not coming off as if you're just trying to make a sale. In the end, you are selling. Listen, we are all in business to make money. So in the end, we are selling. However, it's how you go about selling. When you show up as a personal brand, you don't have to chase those clients down because you're going to start to attract them. And you can't possibly attract everybody, but you will attract the right people. So it'll help weed out those that really aren't your people. Number three, it gives you the ability to work with higher paying clients, higher quality clients. So for example, part of what we do as an agency is we do social media management. However, we don't just do that alone. It's not something that you can have us do by itself because we do more than that. We're strategists. So for a social media manager, if you go to them and you want to hire them just to post for you and engage with your audience, that's what they do. That's what they're there for. Now, if you come to me and say, well, I just want you to do this, I'm going to refer you to somebody that only does that because that's not what we do. We do strategy, and then we do involve social media management in that, but there's strategy behind it. And that has to do because of the level of expertise that we have, that we've built over time. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're not a great client. You're just not going to be the client that I can serve the best because I don't offer just that. Right? So when you show up as a personal brand and you communicate exactly what you do, how you do it, and who it is that you can serve, you're going to also be able to attract those higher quality clients for your business that are meant for your business, for your services. Number four, a personal brand is going to allow you to also charge more money. So when you show up as a personal brand, you're showing up with more credibility, more influence. You're able to charge what you are valued at, okay? You don't have to, limit yourself. When you're showing up as a personal brand, you're able to scale also and build a team. So, and because of that, because of the quality of work that you provide, you're also able to charge for that as well. Showing up as a personal brand is going to allow you to choose more freedom. If you are constantly chasing after clients, you're probably content dumping and just hoping something sticks, right? You don't have to do that when you show up as a personal brand because you're using, number one, the right strategies. You're being authentic. You're not being salesy. You're going to attract the right clients. Therefore, because you can charge what you're worth, you're going to have more freedom as well. You won't be, in that rat race. The sixth reason, or why showing up as a personal brand for entrepreneurs is so important, is that you're also able to build a better network of partners, of power partners, like my coach and mentor, Molly Mahoney, says, power partners. You're able to put yourself in that category, in that level of people that are on the same level, that are also showing up as a personal brand because they are building influence, they're building credibility, they have that like, know, and trust factor. Okay. And then the seventh reason is you will get in on bigger and better deals when you show up as a personal brand, because you have an audience that likes, knows, and trusts you. They're going to start vetting for you. They're going to start recommending you, referring you. And that's really a snowball effect. So I hope that this was absolutely helpful and inspiring for you to show up as a personal brand. I will see you guys next time. Bye.